Hello, I'm Caroline from Pinnacle Studio Success, and today I am coming from this beautiful beach in the Bahamas, and I'm not sure if you can see behind me our cruise ship that we got to this lovely private island on, and it's a bit of an overcast day, so it is the perfect day to shoot videos for Pinnacle Studio Success. Let me start off by explaining this statement. I'm not saying that your dance mom shouldn't help out in your studio. There's a big difference between hiring and delegating to your dance moms. I am all in for getting studio parents helping out wherever they can. You are one person, and the more you can delegate things, the less crazy your life will be. Things such as arranging your recital concession table, or helping organize a fundraising event, or laying out the recital program, labeling and sorting costumes, or decorating the studio are all things that you can delegate to a helpful dance mom. It's important to spread the tasks out evenly amongst all the parents who are willing to help. Don't just keep assigning tasks to one parent. That way, all the tasks are split evenly between everyone, and all those dance moms will be seen exactly as intended. They're helpers. They don't have any say in the running of your studio, nor are they making any management level decisions. You want your studio to feel like a community, and people love to feel like they are needed and they are valued for their help and their contributions. That's how a dance studio becomes a dance family, a family that helps out for the greater good of the dance community, has close bonds between the parents and the dancers in the studio. Just remember to always show your appreciation for these volunteers and make them feel special. One thing I would never recommend is to hire a dance mom in any position of authority. From my own experience, this has turned out disastrously for my studio. When you give that dance mom a level of authority, you elevate her to a position above her fellow dance parents, and very often that authority will go straight to her head. Come on, let's face it, a lot of dance moms already have a huge ego, and if you feed into that even more, you might end up with someone thinking they're running the whole show. And you know what? And that will almost certainly have a sinister consequence for your studio. In my studios, I have a pyramid of hierarchy. Think of it as an upside down triangle. So on the top is the studio, and every studio has to come first, and it's up to you to train your staff to understand that the well-being of the studio as a whole has to come first, and it's paramount to the health of the entire organization, not to mention their job security for all your teachers and administrators. Next on the pyramid comes the students and their families. Your students are the most valuable commodity. The well-being of your students has to be like right up there, high priority, and treating them and their families fairly and with respect goes a long way to retaining them and their loyalty. Next on the pyramid comes your staff. They need to be trained to be in service to your students. Now by that, I don't mean that service means subservient. It means that as a teacher, you know that your job is to be the best teacher you can be. That your job is so much more than just teaching. If you just teach dance, that's all you're doing, but you're going to be doing something such as being a supporter, a mentor, a guide to your students, and to be a role model. It's knowing that every time you enter the studio that your heart is coming from a place of service, that you're always thinking about how you can best be of service to your students. This is where the magic starts to happen. If a teacher leads with ego and making her teaching all about herself and her experiences, then a disconnect between the teacher and her students starts to grow, and you'll start to lose students. I know that in a lot of studios, there's a huge temptation to have a mom who has been at the studio for a while and is familiar with how it operates, working behind the front desk in exchange for free tuition. This is a huge no-no. At first, it seems like it's a good idea, right? But I guarantee you that you will start observing a mom group forming around this person, feeling that by being close to her gets the scoop, like the inside scoop on what's going on, the secrets, that by aligning with this dance mom employee, they'll have some benefit for them and their daughter. They start to rally around this dance mom, and their loyalty starts to shift from the studio owner to the dance mom administrator. Likewise, my observation is that the Dance Mom employee feels this shift and starts to take liberties to strengthen their position. They start discussing things like confidential information with others and generally overstepping their boundaries. If you haven't yet taken a Dance Mom onto your staff, I would highly recommend that you explore other alternatives first. Rather hire a part-time person from outside the studio. My ideal studio administrator is an alumni mom who doesn't have kids dancing anymore but knows exactly how a studio operates. This little tip will save you inevitable drama and problems down the road. I realize that you may already have a fabulous mom working in your studio. And if that's so, that's terrific. That's just great. But what I don't want to see is what happens in so many dance studios where the dance mom starts threatening loyalty to the studio by bringing her dance mom posse on board and forever changing the dynamics of your studio that you have worked so hard to create. I have created a visual representation of the ideal studio hierarchy just for you. Enter your email to download and join us in Pinnacle Studio Success Facebook group and tell us what your hierarchy is in your studio.